dress like this paint all over it and all that. You know what I've been doing for the last 4 years since you came around? Fixing the mess that you created at Whisker City. That house is finished today. It's taken me 3 years. 3 years to clean up the mess you and the Shoreline Planning Commission caused me. But I want to tell you what I'm really mad about now. You had the nerve to walk into the King County Courthouse and say in an open courtroom in front of a judge, Karina Hawkins, that I was sexually harassing you. Now, let me just say something. I've been putting up with you telling people that you had sex with me, that you were my sexual partner, and that I was your girlfriend, and that you jilted me, and blah blah blah. I'm 71, buddy. I'm 71. There's no part of me that would ever be with a guy like you, not even if when I was your age. I am now going to fight back at a force that you haven't seen. You think what you've seen so far has been bad? No son of a bitch like you is gonna ever call me a whore. And no one like you, no bottom feeder like you, is gonna tell people that your penis was ever in my vagina. Ever. You are going to prove now. You are going to prove it. Right now, I want you to post every photo you have of me with you, every text message I ever sent you, and that you ever sent me. Because, by the way, I've got all your text messages, and I've got all the screenshots, and I've got all the emails from that entire time that you were here. I also have cameras in my house, remember? So I got it all. You, not so much, because you're a bottom feeder. You are so confident that you can ruin my reputation, my life. You can keep doing that just by saying you screwed me. Well, what kind of self-respecting man would say, gee, I'm having sex with a 71-year-old woman? Nobody's going to say that. But how did you get Detective Laura Alsbach to believe you? That's what I want to know. But she did, didn't she? Well, are you screwing her? Let's get clear on this. Are you screwing her, Manny Regalado? I got $400,000 worth of hurt to put on you. I am going to put it on you, and I promise you, by the time I get done with you, I will have found a law that protects women and people from men like you. I promise you. Right now, there's not one on the books. So let me just tell you what happened yesterday. I want to update you. I filed or attempted to file charges against you for rape. Now, why am I doing that? I didn't say you raped me, but you have told now hundreds of people that you screwed me, and you screwed me for months and months and months and months. Now, if you did that, you should have lots of evidence of it. I want to see it. I want to see it because that means that, one, that's elder abuse, no matter how you look at it. And number two is, did you drug me? Did you come in my house at night and drug me? And if you did, is that how you got me? If so, I want to see those pictures. So as far as I'm concerned, if you had sex with me, it was rape. It was non-consensual sex. So I am going to pursue that even further. I've taken the case up there to the Shoreline Police Department. And buddy, you got some splaining to do. You sure do. Now, here's what's going to happen next. There's going to be a lot of people who eventually see my videos, and someone's going to surface. And when they do, a world of hurt's going to come your way, because what you've done to me is illegal. It is not civil. You entered my home. You embezzled money on my credit cards. You purposely damaged my house to keep it wrecked and make it such a disaster that I would have to keep you here. But I didn't, did I? Even though my mother, my brother, my dad, and my other brother, I had all these deaths, And you sat there and watched me. A man that does that, any human that goes after somebody when they're in such incredible pain, knowing it, you knew it. You watched me drive back and forth over the passes. You watched me. Remember those flowers you brought over that I took right back across the street to Whisker City? Remember that bottle of wine you brought over here that I took right back over there to Whisker City? How about that chocolate you bought over there in Ellensburg? Do you think I kept that here? No, took it over there to Whisker City. So I want you to bring someone forward. Bring someone forward as a witness for you, okay? Should have some pictures of me and you together, shouldn't she? Wouldn't you have sent her some pictures? How about one of those wives that you've got in Japan or Mexico or wherever? How about those women? Surely you sent somebody bragging about screwing this old lady, right? Mr. Vienna Sausage, you little... I've had it with you now. This is fucking war. And you know what? You know why I'm not afraid of you? Because I know of no one who doesn't love their grandma and great-grandmother, and that's what I am. I've got a family left, and you are not going to destroy me. No way. It isn't going to happen. What I found out to everybody, you don't know this, and every woman needs to know this. There is no Washington state law that protects women from the same thing that women are persecuted for. As an example, when a woman accuses a man of rape, when she does that, and he's innocent, well, she's just garbage. She's a horrible person. That means she devalues every woman who's ever been raped. Okay? We all agree on that. Pretty much, we hate it when someone lies about being raped, right? Even though we know a lot of those women change their mind because of the persecution you get when you go up to the damn police department. By the way, I waited a half hour to see someone. Can you imagine if I'd just been freshly raped? How horrible that would be. And the women are just over there chatting, those little dopes behind the glass over there. Just as you're just sitting there like in the most awkward situation ever. Plus, it's a unique situation. So my point to the police is this. If I can go to jail and be fined for accusing someone of rape, any person who's out there telling people that they've repeatedly had sex with someone and she didn't know about it, that's rape. That's rape, however you look at it. If I know about it and I've completely forgotten, why haven't I forgotten anything else in my life? That I forgot. Gee, I just forgot. Well, I agree. Maybe there isn't much to feel, and maybe I wouldn't be bleeding the next day, and maybe I wouldn't even notice, right? I mean, give me a break. In my opinion, men who go around talking about sex and bragging about sex, we always knew. Remember in school, you knew that. In high school, you knew that. The guys that bragged the most had the... And that's what they had, one of those little things. Well, that's Manny Regalado as far as I'm concerned. Why does he keep saying this? He's told this to everybody that he and I were in a relationship. After I fired him and I interviewed all these guys, I called them all, ones that weren't in jail, and they all knew that we were in a relationship. That's why they claim they never told me what they knew was going on. They all knew he was ripping me off. But I wasn't here, you see. I'm on the road, or I'm working, or I'm over at Whisker City, and he's on my roof, and he's got these crews, and it was all an act. He never knew what they were doing. And those asshole men that worked in this house, that watched that believed they believed I wasn't having sex with this guy. They believed it. Do you get how bad that is, sexism-wise? That's like some of the worst sexism ever. I know of no 71-year-old woman in my circle, which I have so many female friends, would ever date beneath their age by 30 fucking years. What would I have in common with that dirty little toothless thing? Nothing. Nobody has anything in common. It's all an act. It's all an absolute act with this guy. Right now, he's pretending to be a railroad hobby. And listen, I notified those men in that club, and you know what they did? Nothing. Nothing. Because they're all cowards. It's like, listen, I had a guy who was working here for me for 20 years. And when Manny came, Manny started hiring him because he was Hispanic too. Oh, by the way, Manny's half Italian. Did you know that? He's half Italian. His mother's Italian and his dad's Hispanic. Who believes that? Stand up. Nobody. The guy's he lies about the stupidest things. He lies about everything. But those men that watched me, that didn't have the guts to say, April, this man is conning you. He's doing terrible work. Afterwards, they tell me the pitch on the roof is too off. It's not steep enough. Afterwards, they tell me about different things that he did around here that they corrected. They came back and corrected. He fought with everybody around here. He was down to himself when I finally fired him. So I'm just telling you, this is not right that a man can go around saying he screwed a woman and get out of a criminal charge. He embezzled from me, and all he had to do was say, oh, we were in a relationship. And you know what else he said to that lady, that detective? He said, oh, I'll give her tools back. It's just a misunderstanding. Oh, I'll pay her back. It's just a Well, of course he didn't. But she fell for it. Listen, when I'm telling you to the police, you know, you only have to have a high school diploma to be a police officer. And my experience now, as having been one and then trying to interact with them, is that they don't know the civil rights. They don't know the Constitution. They're treated like shit on the job. They're treated like shit at work. It's all militaristic. The women start acting like the men. You know, it's not like you thought it was going to be when women came to power. No, the women are as big as dopes as the guys. It's like different than any other job, because cops will be cops no matter where you are in the world. You cannot stand up to a cop, and you can't make them do anything. There's really no oversight beyond those cameras. Thank God for cameras. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, I am now have a whole new battle cry. I know I'll never get any money out of him. Never. But there's one thing. You can't call me a whore. Not at my age. Because, buddy, I'm going to tear your fucking little weenie up. You're not going to get away with just trying to destroy my reputation. I'm exposing everything that anyone sends to me that I can verify. And you're going to get the fuck out of Washington State. You're moving, bud. You better start packing your bags. You're moving. And remember, in the next state, there'll be another April Brown there waiting for you. Because I promise you, you're not going to get away with this for life. No way. You're just going to have to keep transforming yourself. Pick another country. Why don't you go back to Italy or Mexico or Japan? Pick another country. We'll see how long you last in one of those countries. They'll tear you up. Anyway, I look for anyone. I'm gonna go back and turn all the comments on my videos. The only reason I haven't is because I'm at this house that you're looking at. My entire basement is still completely torn up. I have to fix that now too. And this is all costing me money. All of it. And that's my point about when you're a victim of fraud. One, everyone thinks you're stupid. Well, if I am, I've got a lot of stupid people. I always say, remember Bernie Madoff's victims. That guy's a perfect thing to study because you couldn't convince them. That Marco Williams guy that he brought into court as his witness, oh my God, he looked like such a fool on the stand. Do you think he cares? When I called him to warn him, I didn't tell him about me. He told me about me. Why? Because Manny's telling him I'm his girlfriend, right? I'm telling him about all the cases down in Los Angeles County. Do you think he cares? Listen, if you're a crook, you don't get to be my friend. I don't care if I don't know your victims. If I find out you're a crook, you don't get to be my friend. I don't want you around my family or my friends. That guy, well, he practically's got the guy moved into his house. I mean, really, he told me they are best friends. How do you have a best friend that hurts women and steals and lies? And so I'm assuming him and his wife are the same. By the way, when Manny first came here, that wife of his, Jen Williams, Manny brought him to my house, brought her to my house, walked her all over my house, introduced her as his administrative manager. She was here. She remembers. And you know how I know she remembers? Because that dope she's married to, Marco Williams, testified to it in open court. That's fraud too. I mean, he was unlicensed at the time, and she's lending her name and her likeness, and she's all over his website. So people just don't have a fucking soul. And when they'll tell you they're these good people, but you're only good when you're tested. If you're not tested, well, who are you then? What are you? If you're never tested, it's the same with all that religious crap. You're going to go over here when right under your nose is someone who needs your help. I mean, I don't get it. So, okay.